Hello and welcome to my presentation for property development process. My name is Sasanka Leonage. I'll be presenting on behalf of Fraser's Property, the developer, and the project is Central Park based in Chippendale. To get an idea of the significance of this project, we must have a look at the site story. The site spans over 5.8 hectares of inner Sydney. The area, Chippendale, has 32 heritage-listed items. The site represents nearly 20% of the entire Chippendale village area. This is a significant project. It is worth over $2 billion. Up to 12,000 jobs will be created. It will accommodate around 2,500 residents and will be a mixed-use development for residential, office, shops, restaurants, and other essential services. In April 2003, Australand and CUB initiated the closure of the brewery. Competitions were designed to inform the proposed LEP. However, under the proposed FSR of 4.4 to 1, satisfactory urban schemes could not be agreed upon. After a request from the CSPC, the minister took control of the site and appointed himself the consent authority for the development and environmental assessments for the project. This took place on the 21st of June 2006. Under Part 3 of the Act, a consolidated assessment process was now implemented. As per requirements under Part 3 of the Act, environmental impacts of the project needed to be assessed. These impacts were assessed and overseen by the Director General on behalf of the Minister. These impacts also need to satisfy other major SEPPs before consent was given. In order to get the highest return for all the stakeholders, we had to look at the project and our mission statement. We wanted to create a development that was integrated into the whole community, which acted as anchors and drivers for visitation. Things like open space and childcare facilities allowed people to engage in the community and share their interests with each other. In order to accomplish this, we need to have the right balance between retail, commercial, and residential properties. We also need to address environmental sustainability of the project, water and waste management, the amount of sunlight exposure to different parts of the development. It was important for us to create a socially sustainable development. One where people felt proud to be in the community, one where people would engage in the community. To achieve this, we needed a community that was safer and a community that was diverse, that had people from different occupations, from different backgrounds, from different income levels. To balance all these key objectives, we needed to look at our stakeholders. Finding the right balance with all these factors would result in high returns for us, the developers, and the community, as well as residents as a whole. It was essential that all stakeholders were addressed. This included those from the past, present, and future. We chose to engage the community through effective governance and partnerships. Groups like the Coalition Chippendale Community didn't want to be bullied by large developers and be cast in the shadow of large towering buildings. Preserving Chippendale's unique character, its absence of backyards, and concerns over traffic needed to be addressed. We wanted to turn our constraints into opportunity. The heritage-listed items on the site were very significant and important to the development process. We wanted to preserve the local culture of Chippendale and the history of the site. It was important that we built around these items, preserve them, and use them as attractions for future generations to come. Meeting the future needs of Sydney was an essential part of this project. The capacity to meet local electricity and water demands, the requirement for additional dwellings, affordable housing allowances, reducing the need of residents who have to travel into the city to work, and being part of a connected, walkable, green city was very important in this project. A major target was to allow residents and community members to easily access a continuous green link and be connected with the rest of Sydney. In June 2011, the ABS estimated New South Wales population to be at 7.21 million, an estimated increase of 636,000 over 10 years. Greater Sydney accounted for 64% of the state's population. On the 4th of February, an article was published by the European Intelligence Unit, which estimated Sydney to be the third most expensive city in the world. On October 15, 2012, PricewaterhouseCoopers found that Sydney was the second most expensive city in the world. It found it to be expensive in terms of business and the cost of housing. Various reports and studies have been carried out stressing the shortage of residential housing in Sydney and its inflationary pressures on Sydney's affordability and living. The site is in an ideal location to accommodate people who work within the areas and around Sydney. This includes low-income earners who have to travel from great distances to work in the city. It also includes students who attend various educational institutions around the area. Having more accommodation in the area would heavily reduce the stresses placed upon transportation. We asked the Department of Planning for a higher SSR limit of 4.4 to 1, so we could sustainably address the shortage of housing in inner Sydney. We also asked for subsidies to develop sustainable instruments which would benefit the greater area, grants into systems like trigeneration power and waste management solutions. We also asked for the cooperation in the provision of services, like postal services, for our less mobile residents. We also request a more streamlined and efficient approval and assessment process that isn't burdened by time-consuming, duplicative, and overlapping processes. The government also concurred with this request. Page 56 of its publication, Green Paper, a New Planning System for New South Wales. It outlined our frustrations behind the approval and assessment process that took place with this entire project. We designed a vibrant, diverse mixed-use development which had a strong sense of community. We promoted open areas for the community to mix and enjoy. Open wide pedestrian networks allowed and invited the community to pass through the development and connect with public transportation networks as well as our retailers. We promoted a higher visibility to create a safer environment. This development needed to be part of the community. We adjusted the heights of the buildings on the fringes of the community to maximize its integration and to blend in with its surroundings to be embraced by its neighbors. This was achieved while maintaining solver access to all stakeholders. We designed a 6-tower urban quarter. Our innovative sustainability initiatives will be implemented as we target 100% carbon neutrality. Our trigeneration system will have simultaneous production of electricity, heating, and cooling. Our water recycling scheme will also be integrated. 100% of our non-potable water will be supplied through on-site rainwater capture and wastewater recycling. Our development will be a leader in promoting a greener Sydney and push towards Sydney 2030. There is no grocery store within the general area. The closest grocery store is Coles, which is 2 blocks away from the development. We could have worked better with one of the supermarket chains or an independent one to create a supermarket within the development through the development and planning phase. We could have also sacrificed some of the planned 1,632 parking spaces and worked with the Department of Transport and Planning to get the light rail to pass through the development or come close to it on its way through to the Green Square development. We could have also worked better with local government to promote learning facilities within development. Thank you for your time.